young friend. So you've finally come to accept the inheritance from your grandfather. God rest his soul. I've worked on your grandpa's farm for over 40 years, first as a farmhand, and later with the whole kit and caboodle when he was no longer able to do it all himself. Well, not to speak ill of the dead, but your grandpa was no moping old coot. No, sir, he really wasn't. Some people say he took the best part of his wealth into the village tavern with him, and came out again without it. And they say he had a way with the ladies, looking for a little bit of twilight action. Well, especially back then with Enid from Schreiber's farm. It was rumoured that... Well, but let's just leave it at that. That's yesterday's news. Long story short, Grandpa didn't have too much dough stuffed under the mattress as everything was getting more and more expensive. That's mainly because of the euro. Well, according to him, it wouldn't have come to this with the Deutschmark, he used to say. It wasn't of much interest to the bank what your grandpa had to say about his plight, and so they impounded all his bits and pieces and sold them all off. That was probably the last nail in your grandpa's coffin. And then, as he was lying on his deathbed, his very last stable burned down. Arson is what the police called it, but they never did find out exactly who or what was behind it. The insurance paid out in the end. That's why there's still a bit of money tucked away. It'd be so nice to see the farm reach the heights of its glory days once more, just like during the economic boom years. Let's not waste any time. The early bird catches the worm. Select your farmhouse when you're ready to get started. Hey, you sleepyhead. Around here, we get up at the crack of dawn. Like next to the farmhouse here, looks like a... So, let's start with your workers' accommodation. Select the house from the list, and then you can place it. Aha, finished already? You're quite the nimble one. Yeah. This is going to take some time, I said. These guys building here never were the quickest. We never... One more thing. Some buildings need power. That if you... Well, there you are again. We need to take care of the tractors now. You also have to make sure there's a... Hop to it! First, you can either buy a fancy new tractor here, or you can check out the used vehicle market to see if they've got anything you can use. What's on offer? So, go get yourself a tractor. A small one will do to start with, and a plough. Make sure you don't go spending too much money right away. Every now and then, you should check what condition your vehicles are in. If you check out you should make sure to spend some time with them yourself. If you don't want your farmhands to say, try milking the bull, then you should make sure he knows how to deal with animals properly. Good thing I've got you. Well, get on it. We should start thinking about livestock farming. We should be able to milk a regular income out of a couple of cows. Take a closer look at the new cattle shed. Then you can go and buy 5 cows. That should be enough to begin with. In the cattle shed, you can also check how an individual cow. You also need someone to look after your animals. So now, it's just a case of waiting for the cows to produce 1,000 kilos of milk. Then I'll show you how to turn that milk into cold, hard cash. Now select the milk, as that's what we want to sell, right? You do want something for your milk, don't you? Now, enter an amount. Probably best to sell it all at once this time, but you're free to set the amount as you wish. Ah, yeah, here comes old Herbert in his little tractor. New, aye.